What up, peeps? You guys ever have one of those days where you just like feel like everything about the day is just off? Like, it's not necessarily like a bad day. It's not really like a good day. It's just the day seems off. That's what's kind of day I've had today. You know, supposed to get stuff done. Didn't get every single thing you're supposed to get done. Things just ain't like, not that it's not going in your favor, but just a bunch of inconveniences. That's been today. Now, I knew that supposedly court was supposed to be out this morning for YSL because they had a meeting or a hearing that they wanted to do off camera. I thought it was going to be back in the afternoon. It was not. They ended up canceling it for today. And then, of course, the netizens go crazy. YouTube, Twitter, everything is popping off. They want to put Moontunk back in jail. Now, one thing that Moontunk did not admit to that Tarntavia Stevens and DK did was he wouldn't admit that YSL was a gang. They too did that. They said it was a gang. But interestingly enough, he did say, when she said what makes us a gang, he said, I don't know what makes us a gang. But he said, we used to hang out and play basketball and da-da-da-da-da. So you can't have it both ways. There was elements of his testimony where he admitted to being a gang. He said he joined it back in 2012. He just kept saying. Now, what they refused to do is separate YSL the label from YSL the gang. And what it seems like Muntu did was separate YSL the gang from YSL the label and say they are two totally different entities that have absolutely nothing to do with each other, even if they have people in common. Oops. So he didn't necessarily lie, and this is my own individual idea. But what he did say was that you guys wanted me to adopt the truth that you created, and in the moment, my lawyer told me I could do that. What he also said was that I would have an opportunity to come to court to explain if you so chose to call me. But at the time, the likelihood of you calling me was unlikely. Excuse me. But oh, lo and behold, what do? You call him. And before you get ready to call him, you have a meeting with his attorney. And what you didn't like was that his attorney made him available immediately for the defense to question him about that meeting. And with everything that's going on in this trial that is not in your favor, you still have something hanging over this man's head. This is in part why you chose to dismiss the charges against Woody prior to him, or excuse me, as he was testifying, because you didn't want that to come back on you. This is why you made such a big deal about the Quindarius Zachary situation. Your Honor, we need a warrant for his arrest because he's being a difficult witness. We want to bring people in here and say that he's being a difficult witness. Your Honor, the judge is the dad in Zachary is telling our investigators that they not coming. And then you play a tape, a recorded call of the dad and Quindarius on a call where he says, we coming to court or we coming to jail. We not coming to you though. That's what he said. We're not coming to you. We're going to court or we're going to jail. Excuse me. I guess she thought that really helped her to say it helped her get the warrant. But if you add those two things together, Love lied. She lied when she said that the dad was refusing to bring Quindarius Zachary to court. She lied to get the warrant because that's not at all what the dad said. The dad said, we're coming to court or we're coming to jail. We're not coming to your investigator. We don't trust y'all. They lied to Woody. They had Woody thinking he had to testify because they still had all these charges hanging over his head, even though they dismissed him. Max Sharp pointed that out to him. He didn't even know. He still thought all that stuff was hanging over his head, so he had to be there. He didn't. He didn't. So now, because Boomtook went in there and he said that YSL is not a gang. That YSL is a record label. But he said, I joined YSL in 2020. We was a bunch of neighborhood, you call us a gang because we was a bunch of neighborhood kids hanging out together and kicking it that had an association and an affinity for one another. So because 3 or more of us hung out together, and some of us that hung out together had criminal records, criminal past, or were actually engaging in criminal activity, be it smoking something, drinking something, robbing something, you consider us a gang because that's what your gang detectives told us. That's not necessarily how we consider ourselves. Then you had them all attest that in order to get this plea deal, you got to say you're a gang. And I could see you. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. He can come to court when if we call him, and then yeah, he can explain his views and how he assumed what we said, what we meant, because they didn't talk to him to get any of what they said. They just put it in the plea agreement. They created it and put it in there, but did not have any type of proffer to assert that he has said any of this. And you come up with this within a 24-hour period before he is meant to do his plea, I guess, allocation or something like that, his plea deal in front of Judge Glanville. Now, I'm really curious because I heard it on Infamous Sylvia. I don't know if it's correct. I don't know if it's actually true that Judge Glanville, even though he was the presiding judge when he did the plea agreement, he can't preside over anything as it relates to YSL anymore. I don't know if that counts for Antonio Sledge or if that just counts to the first 6 that they decide to try and not the plea deals that he signed off on. I'm hoping that it goes before Judge Whitaker. At the very least, she'll be a little unbiased. Is there things that he did not attest to? Absolutely. But does she also know that the state did some shady shit when it came to that deal? Yeah. So if nothing else, she seems to be the most fair judge that they've talked to. She seems to be willing to be fair in deciding something. So it's more likely than not that she would be fair in deciding his fate. Whether she decided to put him in jail for a day, a year, a month, they could ask for 35 years, but would she really give him 35 years? Probably not. Do they sometimes go with the recommendations of the district attorney? Yep. But would she be willing to give 35 years? Or would she be willing to give like a year for violating the agreement and then him coming home? To serve no more than 365 days and then come home. Because in all honesty, the gun charge and the RICO charge both carry 15 years. But those that couldn't get out pled to RICO. Those who could afford to pay their lawyers paid for attorneys and took it to trial. So I guess we'll just see what happens. I'm just disappointed. This is on the heels of the tell the defense to stop saying 403, and that piece of evidence that you ruled out because I tried to sneakily get some information, get hearsay out of that, even though I said it wasn't for the truth of the matter asserted, and you got all angry because I lied to you to your face about something. Yeah, I need you to reconsider that and put it back in, because even though I lied, this is only right. Lord Jesus, take the wheel. Take the wheel. Because this is a mess. It's a mess. like, share, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you will be aware. It's so draining, so I can't keep going over it. But like, share, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you will be aware whenever I upload. And stay tuned. Until next time. I did my first live, guys. I did. There wasn't a lot of people in the room, but you know what? I start small and then we'll get bigger. So thank you for those that tuned in, those who went back and rewatched. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for being part of the family. Toodles.